Season 1, Episode 2, My Hero. The episode begins with Tony and Jeannie sitting down for a meal. They have some small talk. Roger stops by briefly, and then Tony starts looking through the groceries Jeannie bought earlier in the day when she asks him a question. Does he believe it proper for a man to strike a woman? He of course says no, and asks Jeannie if she was assaulted at the market. She confirms yes, and Nelson, in a rage, decides to confront this individual. He demands Jeannie take him to the man immediately, and she teleports both of them to ancient Baghdad. Tony then realizes that Jeannie was referring to a situation that occurred 2,000 years ago, but before they have a chance to do anything, they're confronted by the person she was talking about, Ali the Giant. Now, Jeannie disappears, and Tony is taken to be auctioned off as a slave. He threatens the auctioneer with war with the United States of America for mistreating one of their citizens. Of course, the auctioneer has no clue what the hell he's talking about since this is 2,000 years ago and there is no United States of America. So he's shit out of luck there. He's taken to a dungeon prison cell where he meets a man named Tarem, who apparently has been there for 18 years as a prisoner. Shortly after, a guard comes and takes him to the main palace, where he'll be a servant to the queen in charge. Now, when the queen first sees Nelson, she caresses his face tenderly and was like, "So thou art the new slave. They told me you were not right in the head. Be it true." I don't know, something about the way that actress said the line and her body language, the way that it played out on the screen, it really gave me a laugh. After refusing to follow any of her commands, she calls in Ali to tame him. I do not want to know what that entails. We then cut away to a separate location where Jeannie is telling her parents that she and Tony are getting married and they'll get to meet him soon. She finds Nelson in the dungeon and blinks him out of there. He meets her parents and, now dressed in Arabic attire, is introduced by Jeannie as Nelson, flyer through the moons of space. Tony then realizes that the marriage Jeannie was talking about was their own, and Jeannie explains that when he stood up to Ali to defend her honor, that served as a marriage proposal according to ancient Baghdad tradition. Nelson tries to tell Jeannie's father that they are not getting married, but he won't let him get a word in. Instead, he asks how many camels he owns and starts relaying the story of how Jeannie was once human before being turned into a genie and trapped in her bottle for refusing to marry a powerful jinn. Nelson is adamant that they cannot get married. Jeannie is frustrated at first, but ultimately relents. More sullen than angry, she sends him back to Cocoa Beach after telling him she will not return with him. Once his hysteria wears off from returning, he realizes that Jeannie was serious about not coming back. He starts to speak aloud, hoping that she's listening, telling her that wherever she is, he'll never forget her and thank you for everything that she's done for him. Unbeknownst to him, Roger has just walked in behind him, wondering what the hell he's going on about, and with his disheveled appearance, not doing him any favors in the sanity department. Roger reminds him that he was supposed to be at the lab 2 hours ago to complete testing with Dr. Bellows, but that it's already over, and leaves. Once he's gone, Jeannie reappears, saying that she had a change of heart and wants to stay there with Nelson. We cut to later that night, where Tony is preparing for a double date with Roger. Jeannie, and Arbato, not amused. But Tony assures her that he's only going to appease Roger and has no real interest in this prospective date. As he's about to walk out the door, Jeannie pulls one of her pranks, blinking away his clothes and leaving him hysterical in nothing but a towel, with Jeannie laughing up a storm. So overall, this is not a bad episode. It's not the funniest, but the show is still finding its footing at this point. I think that maybe a reason that this is not as strong as some of the later outings is the fact that Roger has not realized the whole situation with Tony and Jeannie yet. Once he does, and he's in on more of the antics and the situations that are going on from episode to episode, it's when the writing really starts to get good. Also, the fact that I think Dr. Bellows was not at all in this episode was something that really took away a lot of the comedic elements too, because even though you can do this show without them, and I'm sure there has been an episode here or there that didn't have Roger or Dr. Bellows in it, but most of the time, a lot of the comedy gold from this show comes from the four main cast members interacting with each other, and what comes out of that being Tony Nelson, Roger Healy, Jeannie, and Alfred Bellows. So I think once they start getting involved more on a regular basis, the show will start picking up a little bit. And I'm sure that it only takes a few episodes for Roger to find out. I don't remember watching too much of the first season with him not knowing. I'm pretty sure he'll find out in the next episode, maybe after that. But he will find out soon, and that will add more comedic possibilities to the storylines. And overall, not a bad episode. Not one that I'd write home about, but it's okay. I give this episode a 5 out of 10.